Some boy did like dirt.
All right. Welcome back to another episode of In the Green Bets.
What's up?
Coming off an outright winner week. Jordan Spieth came through for you.
Yeah, he cashed the 40. Unfortunately, the week didn't turn out to be like super green because I faded Harold Varner and I missed a couple of top 20s and top 30s by like 3 or 4 placings. But I think I had a pretty good grasp on the tournament, which was nice. Spieth cashes the 40, barely even. I think he lost strokes putting, which is interesting, and he still won.
Yeah.
Double Easter winner for Jordan Spieth going back to last year, which is interesting. But yeah, it's fun. I mean, Jordan Spieth at a 40. When's the last time we do that? When's the last time anybody hit that? So that's kind of fun.
Yeah. You talked about it on the show. You brought it up like that's pretty good odds. I kind of poo-pooed it just because he hasn't been playing very good, but the tee to green game showed up. That's a good sign for him going forward. The shorties he's missing is worrisome, but who knows? I didn't have a great week. Somehow I got every single derivative bet through the cut and then just got massacred on Sunday. But so in theory, it could have been a great week, but it wasn't for me. I talked up Cantlay a bunch on the show. He was going to be my guy. And then when I went to put bets in, finalize my card, him and DJ were both at 20. I mentioned it on the show. Well, DJ popped to 22. Cantlay stayed at 20. And I was like, kind of feel the same about both. Bet DJ, missed the cut. Cantlay made it in the playoff. So you'll have that after a few pretty good weeks there. But
yeah, the playoff was interesting because Shane kind of lost to this tournament. He was one and done. He was one. I think he was in the lead by one when he doubled. When he hit it into the water, so then he went back by one and then just couldn't catch up because of the wind on the back nine and everything was playing really, really hard. So when Spieth posted that number, I thought he was going to lose by one. We were just going to hit the one-stroke margin and we would be done. But then it just kind of kept playing. I was like, oh, well, these guys aren't going to get past this. Cantlay gets in and he gets the win. But, yeah, we got lucky by some conditions, and Shane Lowry's choking just a little bit. But he's been playing crazy well. I assume he'll probably win one here within the next few months.
Could be this week. Who knows?
Yeah, just by the way he's playing. Maybe that's somebody we could bet this week. But if you look at the run he's playing on, it just seems like, well, he'll probably get a win in this stretch. So,
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, man, it kind of sucks. He pissed away Honda a little bit. Well, he also played his last hole in like a driving rain. This week, Kendiddy's got him. Is what it is. The conditions weren't good. He hit a chip that he probably shouldn't have hit. He probably should have took his medicine, made a bogey on that par 3, but he made the double. There was 8 guys tied for third, one shot out. Like, imagine the playoff we could have had. I mean, you could have had a 6-way playoff if things broke a little differently. So either way, that's kind of a fun tournament.
One of those guys that was there was HV3, the guy I tried to super fade with 2 mashups, who I was for sure was not going to play well again, and he just rode that form and just played amazing still.
Yeah,
so
he's playing really, really well.
Good for him. I think he'll be a little bit of a popular pick this week.
Yeah, he will for sure.
His team, he's with Bubba.
And Bubba's had some success here. But
yeah.
All right, this week, Zurich Classic team event. So 82-man teams.
Yep.
Top 33 make the cut. I don't know. Do ties make the cut?
Top 33 ties. Ties, yes.
Make the cut. It is foursomes. So best ball on Thursday, Saturday. Yep. 4 ball Thursday and Saturday. Foursomes Friday and Sunday, which is alternate shot. So guys will be going crazy low Thursday and Saturday. There'll still be some really good scores in foursomes on Friday and Sunday. I think last year, I think it was Homa. They shot like some stupid number in foursomes and like jump wave leaderboard because alternate shot is so difficult. But TPC Louisiana, a lot of water.
Where Louis just choked last year. So hard.
Yeah. Got into a playoff and just cock blocked it in the middle of the lake. Like not even close. Like re-tee so far right. So it's always interesting to look at the teams. I think that's something that we'll kind of do here in a few minutes is just like how do these guys get paired up? So the way it works in theory is that it goes down the priority list. You start with the top of the priority list and go down, and each person can pick. Say, hey, here's going to be my partner, and you team up with whoever you want to. It's like you get to pick. It's not like a random thing. So that's why you'll see some. Obviously, most guys are not playing, so you'll see some guys in this field who are not high on the priority list. But there's some stacked teams, to say the least. Leishman and Smith are back to defend their title. Hovland, Morikawa, Cantlay, Schauffele, Palmer, Scheffler. Honestly, that's probably those four. Burns and Horschel, both of the guys playing pretty well. Horschel easily could have a win this year, and Burns has been playing good, has a win. So is it going to be a team like that?
Team. Yeah. I think that's a good.
Is it going to be one of the really good teams? Or are we going to get some randomness down the board a bit? There's some interesting teams once you start getting down, in the 30 to 50 range, I think. But we'll see. I mean, there's some guys playing really good golf, playing with other guys who are playing good golf, but then there's also some guys playing really good golf with some guys who suck. So how do you, can they carry them enough? Like, are they going to get killed in foursomes? It's really kind of a hard tournament to handicap.
Yeah, so we're looking at Leash and Smith, won last year. Before that, you had Rahm and Palmer. I think that there was no event in between there, right? That was the COVID year that they took out.
Correct.
And then Billy, Scott Piercy, and who else won? Cameron Smith and Blix, maybe? Yeah, the one before that. So this seems like we should keep it within the 50 range, right? I don't know if we should go much farther than that. These guys are good that are winning this event. Even going back to Rahm and Ryan Palmer, like Ryan Paul, Rahm was obviously really, really good.
Yeah.
And Ryan Palmer, like this is a perfect event for him because he doesn't have to do anything besides ride his partner. So we'll see what they do. But I'm going to try to stick to like 50, maybe even like once we get to 60, I'm kind of done as far as numbers.
Yeah, I think that there's some like top 10 potential for guys down farther. But looking at the board, what's your first inclination on outright side? I'm going to, in full transparency, I'm going to go super light this week. I don't think there's a good way to handicap this event. It's kind of like an off week. We've been grinding pretty hard here for a while. I'm going to take this week kind of pretty easy, not bet as much and come back here in regular events. But I do think there's probably some value on this board.
For sure, I'm not betting anybody at 10 or under.
No. So I know that if they play well, they're going to win, but it's just not like I'm not doing that.
So that puts me at Billy and Burns, but even then, that 12 is still pretty bad.
Yeah, I'm not. My first one is
at Lowry.
My first one, I'm going down south of the border to Chile.
The Chile team.
The Chile team. Neiman's been playing really well. Pereira played really well last week. I don't see any reason they can't win. Maybe this is how Pereira gets his win that everybody has been begging for.
Right.
Them, and then I like Lowry Poulter. Poulter makes me a little bit nervous, but Lowry's been playing fucking awesome. So it's kind of like Poulter he may not have to do that much. Obviously, the Morikawa, Hovland, Cantlay, Schauffele, Palmer, Scheffler, like if those guys play awesome, it's probably a wrap. So, but I do think there's a little bit of value here in this 25 to 50 range.
The alternate shot, I think just keeps me away from the top. I mean, there's just so many weird things that can happen there. And I get they're all good, like they all hit good shots, right? It doesn't matter, but it kind of brings in this
variance is really
right. It just brings in some new variables that you're like, well, I'm not going to bet that guy who's 6.5 to 1. Like what?
Hell no.
So
it's not Tiger.
Yeah, so I would maybe just stick down here, kind of like where we're talking. I'll probably start with Lowry and Poulter, and then have to do a little bit more deep dive on some of these next guys because like the Sungjae team is interesting at 40.
Yep. So I wrote down a handful of teams here.
Okay.
I think I like Lowry. I like the Chile team. I like Zalatoris because
who's he with?
He's been playing pretty good. He's been Davis Riley. I don't know. Davis Riley may fuck him, but he can make birdies. So like if they can play good enough on the better ball days, then maybe they can do there. Ben On just won a Korn Ferry event like within the last month, so he's obviously playing pretty good. Sungjae just was ball striking his balls off last week. I think he gained like 10 strokes tee to green. So
he finished like 23rd first or something also, by the way.
Exactly 21st, yeah. So I like both of I like that team at 40 for sure. And then Sig and Straka at 50. Sepp's been playing awesome golf. Sig's up and down, but he's a talented guy, so maybe that's a more of a top 10 bet, but I like them.
Yeah, that 50 on Laird and Bobby Mack is interesting too. I don't mind that team.
I don't either. Bobby Mack's been playing good golf, and Laird's ball striking numbers are awesome this year. He just cannot putt to save his life.
It just is like you kind of got to think like, are the winners going to be Laird and Bobby Mack? Like it doesn't really make doesn't make any sense. But I don't mind that team to like maybe we can put a place on them or something because I think that both those guys can pair well together.
Rose Stenson team. Stenson like randomly popped. I don't think that they're going to win this, but in terms of talent, they're better than most of these guys down this far.
Right.
Keith Mitchell was playing really well earlier this year, but it's kind of faded. Sned's actually played well a few weeks ago, so it wouldn't shock me if they, showed up and played well. The other thing to think about is like we don't know how much these guys are like. Obviously, they care, but they may just be out there fucking playing golf with their buddy a little bit too. So, Noren and Norlander. Noren's been playing good golf. And Norlander's popped, I think, once or twice in the last 6 weeks, but other than his short game form is like horrific.
Yeah, if you go back up just a little bit, right there, the Bramlett McNeely team I think is a little bit underrated. The number's not great, but Bramlett played last week. He made the cut. He hasn't been like placing very well, but he's been making cuts, which is great. And then McNeely has been awesome. I mean, not awesome, but he's had some really good finishes in the last few months. So I don't hate that team either. I think there's some value in that range.
What about Kazar Poston? So Kazar's made 6 of his last 7 cuts with a few top 35s. Poston played well last week. And Poston kind of has like the streaky thing. Like maybe he gets it going. I don't know. I'd almost rather go down to, even Hostler and Thagala at 100 or.
These guys are not winning. These guys are definitely not winning this.
No. So
who's Damon playing with? Jaeger?
So Damon is on my top 10 bet list, or the top 20 bet list, because Steven Jaeger's actually pretty good, and Joel's been playing really good golf.
Yeah.
I don't know. I get why they're placed down here this far, but like some of these people in front of them they're definitely beating.
Ben Coles.
Yeah, some of these guys are terrible. Harry's actually been playing pretty good. Smotherman's had a pretty nice spring. Maybe that's a top 20 on at pretty good odds there too. Your guy Chad Ramey down there with somebody named Creel. Chad Ramey almost finished DFL after he was in like the top 5.
I know. It's so sad. I had a 180 on him too.
And then it's just like stay the fuck away zone down here. I don't see anybody that's really.
Yeah, I'm going to stick to that like 60 and below range.
Yeah, definitely in terms of
outright. Especially because I'm not even going to have that much money out this week, so I'm going to try to keep it pretty precise.
Yeah, so top 20s. Bradley Steele's not terrible in terms of like I don't know if they've win upside with how bad their putting is, but their ball striking has been excellent this year. Same with Laird McIntyre. Maybe they can just ball strike their way into a top 20.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hate Taylor Moore and Neesmith. Neesmith's been playing really well. This is kind of the thing I'm looking. These are the kind of bets maybe I'll do a few of here. And then Damon, I'm trying to find him.
Yeah, the Sungjae number
240
at 140 is pretty good. Sungjae is just so talented that I think that he could carry his team.
Yeah, he's a bit of a buoy for them, I think.
I would fade that Fleetwood Garcia team. Maybe I can find a matchup against those guys.
Let's see here.
Gucci a really good. What was Gucci Homa's winner?
22.
22. That's still not very great.
And I don't know. Maybe it's different somewhere else.
I like that team though.
Same, and they both been playing pretty damn good golf this year.
Right, they make sense together.
Horschel and Burns minus 130 over your Euro guys.
That's kind of a lot of juice, but
yeah, it is a lot of juice. But what about Kazar and Poston plus money over Clark and Tringali? Tringali's not been very good, right? I don't think he's played that well in a while, and I don't know.
He just played well last week, but I don't know if he finished actually well.
Holy shit! Wyndham Clark's numbers are pretty bad. Wyndham Clark's made 3 straight cuts, but one of them was Corrales, and then one of them was last week.
Yeah, Tringali got 12th last week. He was like, I think on Saturday he started off like way up there, but then kind of fell back. He was horrible before that. Ever since the Genesis, he's been terrible. Besides,
and Poston, Poston's one of those guys that like you may hit it or you may just whiff big time because you never know what the fuck's coming out of the bag with him.
Keegan Bradley, Brendan Steele, -1 or the exact odds as Sung Jae and Ben On. I don't mind that. The issue with Keegan Bradley and Brendan Steele is they just kind of their talent could maybe float them up.
I would be worried that that they're both like in the top 10.
Right. That'd be.
Yeah. I like Bradley and Steele just purely based on their ball striking talent.
Right.
Like it's kind of good enough to carry him, I think.
But what about Team Chile over HV3? Can we fade HV3 again?
Well, he's costing us money, so I don't know that that's like I'm not dying to fade him after he's playing so damn good. And Bubba's been good here in the past. What would you do with the Cantlay Schauffele versus Morikawa Hovland?
I was just about to ask you that. I would take the plus
whichever
money.
Whichever team is plus money. Yeah.
Just take the plus money. That's crazy that they should be even for sure.
Cantlay just about won, and Xander like is super good.
All their shots can be great, so it's like not great, but all be good. They're not going to be messing up stuff.
Yeah,
like the Hovland Morikawa thing is obviously there's super talents, but
can they chip and putt good enough?
Yeah, and they're young. What are they going to be? Are they going to be going to the casino? Like, what are they doing? And I don't know. Like, what's their motivation coming in here?
I love this. Laird and McIntyre plus money over Martin and Merritt and Streb. I know Streb played well last week. I don't give a shit about Robert Streb playing well for 1 week. Maybe Merritt played well last week too.
He plays well like twice a year. Yeah. Yeah, I like that matchup too.
I definitely like that.
Lowry and Poulter are even with Gooch and Homa. That's kind of a terrible bet because they might just both be up there. But
Leishman and Smith plus money over Palmer and Scheffler.
Yeah, can I
not in the fade Scheffler game at this point, but I'll fade Ryan Palmer.
So if you parlay those two together with like that matchup, then you take the Cantlay money also, you get 3-1.
That's chancing fade, but yeah.
You get a lot of really good players for 3-1.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
But
yeah, I think that I will probably have a few of those matchups. Honestly, there's definitely a few that I like. I'll probably have like 2 or 3 outrights and 2 or 3 matchups and 2 or 3 top 20s, and that'll probably be it.
Yeah, I have specials. So I'm gonna do 1-stroke winner and playoff winner. 1-stroke winner is 250. Playoff winner is 300. This was a playoff victory last year. I kind of like that. Unfortunately, we didn't hit the playoff last week with Spieth, but we hit the outright, so it's kind of like a doesn't matter thing once you hit the outright. So that's where I'll be for the margins. Same with you. I'll have a couple of those matchups. I'll throw a couple of darts in that 60 to 40 range, probably that we talked about earlier. And then I don't think I'll have too big of a card. No one and done this week. Although my streak of players, I had Berger last week, so he got $83,000. So I have yet to have a week besides Pebble Beach with Mito that I haven't made money, which is nice. I'm in like 60th, so it doesn't matter. But I keep picking guys that are making money, which is nice.
It's nuts. So I was like looking at my I've been terrible, like horrible. I'm in like almost last, but I was like looking at my stats, me compared to the top guy in terms of like top 5s, top 20s made cuts, all the same except he has 2 wins. It's like basically the exact same except he has 2 wins.
Right. Interesting.
And it's like I'm like 4 million behind somehow.
Right.
Like he's made 1 more cut, has like 1 more top 20, but other than that, it's just wins. So it's like Xander should have been in that playoff, could have won that. That one. Lowry could have won last week, and I'd have been in like 15th.
Right. Yeah.
So one and done thing. It's a learning experience. Let's just say that. I don't know that I have like a for sure best bet, but if I was sitting out here looking at the board, it'd be Sung Jae top 20 or Bradley Steele top 20. I just think Bradley Steele I know what I'm getting with their ball striking. Now, do they make enough putts? Maybe, maybe not. But those guys are like get hot type of guys. They can kind of carry each other on a best ball day if one of them's not playing well. I'm pretty sure King Bradley has a pretty good history here. Plus 140 for both. I don't know. It's not a tournament where I'm like not in love with really anything. And my favorite outright is the Chile pair, 25-1.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't even know if I can convince myself to have something that I say is like because usually when I say a best bet, I'm pretty confident in like what that bet's going to hit. So I don't really have one this week. Although I could say the margins because I actually do like those margin numbers this week at 1 in playoff. But as far as the other stuff, I'm definitely going to take that Cantlay Xander matchup at plus 100. I think everybody should jump on that because that's just priced wrong. And then for outrights, yeah, I would say more just stick in that 50 range.
Do you have one that you like more than the others? Is there one of them that stands out to you?
The outrights?
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on. I pulled up F1 real quick.
Like I said, mine is the Chile guys. They're both playing really well, and I think Pereira's kind of poised to get a win. Maybe this is how he kind of steals. This is his first win.
I like the layered Bobby Mack number at 50.
Yeah.
And then I think the one I'd be most confident in is Lowry Poulter at 22. And I'm not sure I'll go I'm probably not going to go lower than that. So
I'm not either.
I think the Lowry Poulter is a good team. But as far as maybe do like a top 10 on Laird and McIntyre, like 350 or something. Like that would be probably a little bit better of a bet.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, F1.
Yeah, we're in Italy this week.
This just came in the mail today.
What do you
Claire
got?
Sapphire 9.
Oh, yes.
It's going to be a hold. It's selling for like a 10x what it was or 5x what it was when I sent it to PSA. But as long as he keeps winning and he's leading the driver championship by a whole lot, it's going to sit right here on my desk.
There you go.
It'll be interesting to see because, what has he won? He's won 3 out of 4.
Yep. He's the favorite at 105 this week.
He damn well should be. The one thing with they've shown that when Red Bull and them are clicking, they're basically the same, but better in different, types of tracks or types of corners. But the Ferrari just way more reliable.
Yeah, well, yeah, for sure has been this year. Would you bet on anyone outside of those two to win? Like, would you ever do that or no?
No, I would bet that max number is not terrible. What, plus 180?
But I guess from when we've been watching, what are the races? What has to happen for those top guys not to win? Like last year when it wasn't Lewis or Max, it was more so based off chaos, right? It was just because those crashed or something weird happened.
Typically a wreck or like Bottas won.
Right.
So I could see Sainz winning, but he just hasn't got it yet in that car. Like the car's there, but he hasn't quite, and he's admitted this multiple times. It's not news, but he said I just haven't got comfortable yet. I could see Perez winning, but he should have won whatever 2 races ago. If it wasn't for that caution, he got kind of fucked on that. If it's gonna be one, I'd be shocked if one of those 4 doesn't win, unless they all wreck or something.
Well, Mercedes will win one this year, right?
Yes.
So when do we start to maybe try to predict
that? When they get closer, they're still
right
a second behind, or
you think it'll be
a second behind a lap.
Right.
I would guess at least a few weeks from now. At least. I mean, they're not close. And Toto had an interesting quote where he's like, I expect us to make big jumps as the season goes along, but everyone else is too. So he's like, can we make up all the ground that we are behind plus, what's kind of expected as we move forward?
It's just very hard to bet right now. It's very
it's always going to be a hard sport to bet as long as there's only 2 teams contending every week.
Right.
And really one driver from each team. I mean, I wish I could I wish it would let me parlay Verstappen, Leclerc podiums. I think that'd be close to even odds, but it's not going to let me do that.
You can bet on the sprint race, that'd be interesting. Oh, I want to go over times. I don't have my phone on me.
The sprint thing is kind of fun. It's interesting. If I was a driver, I don't know that I'd like it because I don't want to like have to wreck potentially after I've already qualified, but it's interesting.
Qualifying is on the 22nd at 10 a.m. And that's is that Friday?
Friday. And
then the sprint is at 9:30 on Saturday. And then the race is at 8 on Sunday. These are all central times, by the way. So we have a little bit of a wonky schedule this week with the sprint, and the times are a little weird. But, yeah, I still think it could be good. The sprints are entertaining. The only issue is sometimes you go to watch and none of them move for 20 laps.
They're not trying to fuck up. They're like out there like, let's jockey for position for like a lap and see what happens.
Right. Like Leclerc is minus 400 to win the sprint. Like that's probably accurate. Like they're not going to do anything, and he's just going to run faster than everybody.
Yeah. Like whoever gets out in front, they're like, "Yep, cool."
Right.
Leclerc plus 140 for fastest lap. I think he's got that 3 out of 4 weeks. That's kind of an interesting bet.
That's a good bet.
Other than that, it's hard to bet right now. I think if Mercedes can catch up, then it gets interesting. Because if you have 3 to 5 or 6 guys with a chance every week, they're going to have to move some odds around. But at this point, it's like I think Leclerc or Verstappen is probably going to win every single week, barring wrecks. I do think Sainz will win one here in the next 3 or 4 weeks. Maybe he's kind of been okay, but he's good in qualifying. But then once it gets to the race, like Leclerc just kind of. It's not been close.
Yeah.
He whooped their ass 2 weeks ago, like bad. He won by like 20 seconds.
You want to look at some NBA series real quick?
Yeah. What's happening in the
Celtics game?
Yeah. Looking at it right now. Trying to find out.
Nets are up by 10 at halftime. I saw Kyrie had to leave the game to go get food because it was after sunset. Because he's
Ramadan.
Fasting for 13 hours or something. What the hell?
Yeah, whenever the sun sets, you have to break your fast. I think that's my interpretation of it. Your guy Dragic with 16 points again tonight. What the hell?
He's good. His whole thing.
Yeah, he's good.
I just don't want. I want to be as healthy as I can when the playoffs come. And that's exactly what Nash did. They helped him out, and now he's like an effective player.
Yeah. So I did get John Morant into the finalists for most improved, and this is a super jinx, but I went and looked, and people will track public ballots to like kind of predict. He is like a runaway based on the ballots that people have put out for most improved.
Really? I thought it was like I would have guessed the other way because I've been seeing people like the
I know same. I figured I was just gonna have to raise holy hell about getting fucked, but. Granted, it's not a lot of ballots, but he had by far the most first place votes. And Monty Williams, I think I have him at 15-1, has by far the most first place coach votes. So we're knocking on wood.
There you
I
go.
think we find out here in the next week or two on that stuff.
So I got these series markets pulled up, series correct scores. I think Miami could be a sweep. That's at plus 190.
I got an interesting one for you. Suns.
You don't think any bad team can win, right?
What about Suns Grizzlies parlay to win their series is minus 104.
Grizzlies Timberwolves.
That would be one of the series that I'm a little concerned about, but they looked a lot better last night. So
yeah, they'll probably win. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't hate that.
You could do Suns Jazz, but I think Dallas has a chance to win this. Dallas is plus 170. I actually don't think that's a bad number.
Yeah, I would maybe bet Dallas the 4-3 number 360. So if you can get that series to draw out with Luka coming back and Luka in a game 7, that's plus 360 is a pretty good number.
Yeah.
Because if they get to that game 7, imagine
Luka's gonna fucking
their money
dice
line is going to be, stupid. It's going to be 360. I can tell you.
Yeah, they're going to be at home with Luka.
The only issue is I don't even know. I don't really know his status. I mean, I know he's supposed to come back here soon, but I don't know if it's like
Miami 4-0 plus 190.
Yeah, that
thing's fucking over. That's over.
I like that.
Suns 4-1 plus 425. I know Booker's not playing, but like that team is fucking awesome, and the Pelicans are really not that good. So I kind of like that.
But they just lost, right?
They lost last night.
Yeah. So you're just kind of hoping that they kind of take it more seriously and just win. Yeah, that's
yes, because by all accounts, it was kind of like not the greatest effort of all time. Although Booker had 31 in the first half.
Yeah, so there's some value out here. I think I like the Dallas 4-3 one the best at 360. Are there any team futures? The Nets to win the East is 300. I actually don't mind that. Now that I've seen them play a little bit, it's like these guys are actually pretty good.
I wish we would have bet them. I know the Warriors didn't look that great, but we should have bet them. They have the same 3 guys that won 3 championships, and Jordan Poole, who is going absolute berserk right now.
Yeah, they're plus 175 now to win the West.
Yeah, they were like 425 like 10 days ago.
The West is kind of weak, right?
Yeah, it's basically just the Suns. The Grizzlies are good, but they're super young. The Jazz are a fucking mental clusterfuck. The Dallas just has Luka, and the other 3 teams are like a joke in terms of like they're not good enough.
Right.
If Golden State plays like they played the other night, it's a fucking wrap because that was like offense was like unstoppable. Right. Granted, Jordan Poole made 3 of the stupidest shots you'll ever see in your whole life, but like it's like the way in which they beat you is so demoralizing because you can hang, and then all of a sudden it's like they scored 70 points in 19 minutes the other night.
Holy
19
shit.
minutes. They scored 70. From the middle of the second quarter through the third, they scored 70 points.
Who would they be playing? Do you know? Do you know what the bracket looks like?
It's the Memphis Timberwolves.
Oh, they're gonna win that. Shit, we should have bet that. Yeah, you're right because they're gonna be like guaranteed to be in the
And it's like
finals.
Jokic is amazing, but his teammates suck, and that matchup is bad for him. He can't he gets exploited, and he can't really pick apart. Golden State's defense is really smart. Like they're really, really smart. Phoenix, Golden State with both teams healthy would be a really, really fun series.
Yeah, the West is pretty weak, and I think the East is a little more wide open than people think. Miami's going to win, and then they're going to play.
There's 5 teams. I legitimately think any of the top 5 teams could make it out.
Well, I think the 76ers are going to get beat, but I think they're going to get beat by Miami pretty easily.
I think they could make it out.
Right.
They will have the best player in the Miami series.
Yeah,
which is typically
I don't know. I feel like Harden's going to fold, but yeah. I don't think the Bucks are as a write-in as we thought coming in. Really, like the Celtics are legit. They also, and the Nets are actually good.
Celtics plus 450 is actually probably the best bet on there. They've played like the best team in the whole league since like January.
Right.
Rob Williams is probably coming back. If they get through the Nets, that'll be like kind of a like over the hump moment for them, I imagine. And they play.
Now, though.
What do they play? Milwaukee?
Yeah.
They win? They've played Milwaukee pretty damn good. They have a lot of guys to throw at Giannis, but I don't know. I think it's wide open. I honestly think Philly's definitely the 5th of those 5, but I still think Embiid and Harden could just go off, and Maxi's been so good that they have Doc Rivers, though, so maybe I take that back.
Yeah, it's open. I would say the one that caught my eye was that Dallas to win in Game 7 bet at 360, and then we'll have to revisit after we see some of these first round game. Really, we need to know the winner of this Celtics Nets series. That's going to kind of determine some things.
Suns Grizzlies minus 104 on a parlay. I like. I think the Grizzlies, they're too good. They'll figure out a way. Jaren Jackson can keep Cat from going crazy. And Edwards, as good as he is still like crazy young.
Yeah, it would make sense for them to have a good year, Edwards to be fine, lose the series, and then, Ja to move on. I still think that'd be probably a pretty big success, figuring that Cat has never won anything ever. So, yeah, I don't hate it. That's like not much juice either for some. That seems pretty likely.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll be back next week. You know what tournament's next week? Can't think. Is it Colonial?
Give me 3 seconds. Mexico?
Oh, Mexico Open.
Yeah.
The first playing of that event. I'll be interested to see the field for that. That would be kind of an interesting. I saw
pictures of the course of that there. They look kind of cool. So that'll be interesting.
It's not like a full purse though. $7.3 million purse. So it's like it's even less than last week in Heritage. So that might hurt the field a bit. But
yeah, we'll have to do some research to try to get some unique takes on it because of how much lack of data we'll have. So it'll be fun to look at, and hopefully we get some fireworks on Sunday because honestly, I don't really find much enjoyment in this event unless something fun happens. Like seeing Louis hit in the water was the most entertaining thing I've seen all for the whole year.
It was great. Yeah, and then we're a month out from PGA at Southern Hills. That'll be fun.
Perfect. Let's do it.
All right. Peace out.
See ya.